Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about Little Cuck, Chuck Schumer, a demon pedophile, who he and his idiot Democrat buddies tried to pass an assault weapons ban today in the U.S. Senate, as well as a bunch of other horse shit that's completely unconstitutional. Completely, it should be removed from office immediately in handcuffs for deprivation of law, for high treason, etc. And so you had that crap all happen. Of course, it got voted down, thank God, which it was going to be easy to vote it down. All you had to have was one person be like, no, fuck you, we're not doing US consent, asshole. Go eat a dick. And they did, is what it was. I think you had multiple people do it, actually, is what it was. So, good on those Republicans actually did that stuff and, show that they were actually keeping their sworn oath to office, something that fucking douchebag Chuck Schumer never has and never will, is what it is. So, yeah, and I guarantee if we actually looked into election audits and did, election audits for massive voter fraud, I guarantee you Chuck Schumer wouldn't even be in office right now, because there's no fucking way that guy's won legitimately in New York City, or New York State for that matter at all, in the last, 20 years or so. Same thing with many of these other Democrats from that fucking state, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, I was a little bit late today because there's a reason for that. I was actually on Twitter calling out another pedophile, being that piece of shit Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers, who I know for a fact also cheated way back in office in 2022. So, yeah, there's absolutely no way that guy's sitting in office legitimately right now at all. And the reason we're calling his ass out is we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, basically he the so-called gender-affirming care that these Democrats want to talk about, which is nothing more than literally chopping kids' dicks off and fucking, chopping little girls' boobs off and stuff like that, and having them get double mastectomies and stuff like that. He literally banned a piece of legislation in Wisconsin there that would have outlawed that shit on children. Like, what a sick fuck, dude. Like, I don't understand how we're even letting these people sit in office anymore when they are openly committing crimes against humanity at this point in history. The same thing with Schumer, same thing with all of them, dude. When you are openly advocating for the disarmament of Americans, when you're openly advocating for the genital mutilation of children, you don't need to be in power at all anymore. You don't need to be walking free at all anymore, if possibly even being alive anymore, for that matter, dude. Like, it's getting to that point, honestly. We know what the fucking crimes for high treason are. We know what the crimes for crimes against humanity is what it is. The actual fucking judgments at that point, what their fucking endgame is what it is. It's the death penalty, legitimately. Why are these people not being tried with it already, dude? Why are they not being arrested and tried with this shit already? It's as simple as that, really. End of story. So, but yeah, anyway. So, we did have a couple of good things happen today, though. Obviously, you had Senate Republicans block the AWB bullshit. You had dickless rhino Kevin McCarthy finally announced he's going to be retiring from the U.S. Congress at the end of the year, which is great. You had another rhino, that piece of shit, Patrick McHenry, the guy that was like temporary speaker or whatever for like 10 days, whatever was there. You had that asshole rhino announced yesterday he was resigning from office, and it's just like, this is my problem with all these people, dude. Resign now. Like, seriously, like, resign now. We will hold a special election to replace you with an actual constitutionalist, not some fucking bought and paid for rhino scumbag. And you will be doing things correctly. And that's the only good thing about 2024, it seems like, coming up now, dude, is we have a real time period in this history to strike while the iron is hot. And it is to basically, all of these douchebag rhinos that are announcing retirement or just going to leave or whatever at the end of the term is what it is there, dude, and not seek re-election. We could easily go out there and find a bunch of grassroots candidates that actually are legit constitutionalists, that love the Constitution as it stands, the Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, all that stuff like that. And, hardcore 2A, hardcore Oath Keepers, etc. And you could replace so many of these fucking scumbag traitors in our U.S. Senate and Congress right now, currently, with good people come 2024. And I am very optimistic about that right now, dude. That's obviously if we have an election in 2024, which, it could be, 6 months from now. You got fucking rioting in the streets, and Biden and company try to announce they're going to fucking do some bullshit fucking suspension of the Constitution, martial law kind of deals what it is there, where you'd have complete suspension of elections too, for that matter. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pull that shit, honestly, sometime next year. We were talking about that last night on the Honda's chat, actually. It was Tactical Muffin Top was mentioning that, actually, as one of his theories right now, which I think I've talked about that quite a few times on this anyway. I said that as one of my scenarios a while ago, dude. It's like, yeah, you're going to have, like, I think that's a very real possibility at this point, honestly. You know, I did that 5 citizen scenarios, what was it, like a month or two ago now? And it was, one of them was basically everything going on in Israel and stuff like that. You would potentially have like another failed pullout 2021 style, get a bunch of U.S. soldiers killed, and then it basically puts political assassinations on the table for the parents of these people that were killed. They would start killing fucking politicians at that point, and then it just spirals out of control from there is what it would be then. So, which I could easily see happening, truthfully speaking, dude, because there's a lot of people right now that I've seen recently that are very much on the raging cusp, honestly, when it comes to just being so pissed is what it is. And they have a right to be at this point, honestly, in history, dude, because it's like, yeah, you are having these assholes, these unelected assholes, these cheating pieces of shit in power who have no business being there to begin with. You have fucking dickheads like Cory Booker, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, etc., that should have been tossed on their fucking ass 3 years ago from the U.S. Senate when they failed to run for president in 2020. Like, I'm sorry, how do we not have a resign to run act at a federal level at this point in history, dude? If you're going to be running for the presidency, get the fuck out of the U.S. Senate, bitches. And it's as simple as that, really. Same thing with that piece of shit Eric Swalwell in the U.S. Congress right now, dude. He should have been tossed out of that fucking thing as soon as he announced his stupid-ass candidacy 3 years ago. So, anyway. We're going to go over a couple things here, though. We'll obviously start with where we're at right now, which is the whole mentioned a minute ago here, which is McCarthy being ousted here. Yeah, it's former Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The ousted Speaker announces he's leaving Congress. California Republican will exit the House at the end of the year. He wrote an op-ed. This is McCarthy, who's... Stop fucking playing, you idiot. Yeah, Kevin McCarthy, who this fall became the first Speaker to be ousted from power in the middle of a congressional term, said Wednesday he will resign from office at the end of the month. Or in the end of this month. Wow, interesting. So wait, so is he going to leave midterm then if that be the case? That's interesting. So this exit had blown his successor Johnson and Republicans further cutting the already narrow GOP margin, making passing legislation in 2024 even more challenging. Does it though? Because if that be if he's actually leaving legitimately here at the end of December, and you have, you know, potentially like 8-9 months of a fucking term to be filled, dude, like, pretty sure you can't appoint somebody at that point, dude. You have to literally have a race for a special election then. So, yeah, this could be really good in our favor then. Because you could have an actual constitution from California step up and fucking take this little rhino sacks of shit fucking places what it is then, man. So, yeah, okay, here we go. McCarthy's timeline means he will depart before the February 13th special election. Oh, okay. Before February 13th special election to replace expelled George Santos for the current Republican majority from 220 down to 220 versus 213 Democrats. Means House Republicans could lose just three votes before requiring Democrat support to pass measures. Okay, here's the point about that right now, right? Okay. Don't pass shit then, dude. It's as simple as that. Fuck them. You know, that's the best thing. Like, this is the best thing about government, by the way, dude, is when they do nothing. When they do absolutely fucking nothing, we are better off as a country then. And it's as simple as that, really. Because it means you're not going to pass any bullshit fucking omnibus bills. It means you're not going to pass any fucking bullshit AWBs or any other gun control crap is what it is there. It means you're not going to pass anything for that matter. You know? And we're better off as a nation than without that shit, dude. Speaking of AWBs, we got this article here about dipshit pedo demon Chuck Schumer. It said U.S. Senate Republicans block assaultants ban background checks bill. Said Senate Republicans on Wednesday blocked efforts by Senate Democrats to pass assaultants ban and universal background checks legislation after the United States over the weekend. Okay, so here's the thing about the Hill, right? So they're fucking lying their asses off, claiming that we had more mass shootings in a single year than some bullshit. That's a fucking lie, you know it, goddammit. And I'm sick and tired of this shit, dude, for real. It's such a bunch of crap entirely, dude. No, we have not had more mass shootings this year than fucking days of the year, you assholes at the Hill, you fucking lying pieces of shit in mainstream media. What you were fucking talking about is you were using the bullshit-ass, fucking leftist-run gun violence archive bunch of BS website that literally lists fucking gangbanger shootings where you have fucking 2 black gangs out there blowing each other to fucking pieces near a school or at a school, whatever the fuck it is, dude. And then you're going to sit there and call it a fucking school shooting or a mass shooting, whatever the fuck case be is. Or it's going to be some fucking drive-by by one rival gang into another and stuff like that. And you're like, oh my God, it's a mass shooting. There was 14 people wounded. Nobody actually killed, though. Which, by the way, even according to the FBI's own statistics, that shit doesn't qualify as a mass shooting. You know what it does? 4 or more dead, not including the fucking shooter. Not 4 or more wounded or 3 or more wounded. Where the fuck you want to make it now is what it is, dude. Because that's the thing. They kept changing the damn definitions, what it is there. The technical definition is supposed to be 4 or more dead, not including the perpetrator, to qualify. Then they knocked it to 4 or more wounded, no dead at all. And then it became 3 or more wounded, including the fucking shooter, by the way, for that matter. And because of that shit, now they're qualifying everything as a mass shooting. Hell, they're qualifying that Beaver Creek thing as a fucking mass shooting here recently, where it was 4 people got winged in the arms and shit by a high point, and then the fucking douchebag went to the back and blew his fucking brains out. That's not a mass shooting at all, dude. What that is literally some fucking psychotic nut trying to go on a rampage and failing miserably is what it is. So, I'm just so fucking sick of it, man. I'm so fucking sick and tired of the lies from these fucking douchebags in the mainstream media that need to be held accountable anymore. Anyway, it says Republican Senator John Barrio from Wyoming objected to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's request for unanimous consent to pass Sullivan's ban despite the pleas of Democrat senators who took to the Senate floor to cite the harrowing statistics of gun violence in America. The scourge of gun violence in America is a national crisis. The American people are sick and tired of enduring one mass shooting after another. They're sick and tired of vigil and moments of silence for families, friends, classmates, and coworkers, said Schumer on the Senate floor. Fuck you, you fucking pedophile faggot. I'm so fucking sick and tired of your shit, Chuck Schumer. Yeah, here you go. Sullivan's ban, originally sponsored by late Senator Dianne Feinstein, would ban semi-automatic rifles with pistol grips, forward grips, and folding or telescoping stocks, as well as rifles outfitted with grenade launchers, barrel shrouds, threaded barrels, and allow for noise and flash suppressors to be attached to them, blah, blah, blah. It says, but Barrero argued the Democrat drafted bill would infringe on the Second Amendment and deprive law-abiding gun owners of the important liberty. Yes, it would. Said Americans have a constitutional right to own a firearm. Every day, people across Wyoming responsibly use the Second Amendment rights to keep and bear arms. Democrats are demanding that the American people give up their liberty. By the way, giving up our liberty while the same fucking pedophile Democrats are literally helping invade our fucking country by keeping our borders open like fucking crazy, bringing in a bunch of mams, a bunch of military-age males. That fucking douchebag Dick Durbin this week had the audacity, or no, sorry, it was last week, had the audacity to literally come out of the fucking woodwork and be like, oh, you need to be able to get our military quotas up. Let's give all these fucking fighting age males illegally invading our country the ability to go in the military and become fucking U.S. citizens. Fuck you, Dick Durbin, you fucking traitorous piece of shit. The fact that you fucking people are not being brought up on high treason charges at this point, dude, is everything wrong with this country currently. That right there, the fucking speech Dick Durbin gave, dude, he should have been walked out in fucking handcuffs and been charged with a bunch of death penalty crimes right then and there for that shit, dude. For literally trying to help fucking foreign invaders destroy our fucking nation from the inside out. And why are they trying to do this shit, dude? Because they know for a fact that these fucking foreign nationals who don't have a damn fucking any kind of skin in the game at all, dude, don't give a fucking shit about our U.S. Constitution, don't give a shit about America's constitutional rights, which, by the way, the entire Bill of Rights is things that Congress and Senate cannot actually do to fuck with our freedoms is what it is, dude. You know, our founding fathers had it right when they said kill fucking tyrants, dude. And I mean that seriously at this point. Like, the fact that it's already happened in this country is exactly what's wrong with our country right now, honestly, dude. The fact that there's not, like, a fucking big old gallows being built someplace in Washington, D.C. right now is exactly what's wrong with this country currently, honestly. So, anywho. But yeah, needless to say, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. And thank God people objected to this fucking unanimous consent bullshit is what it is, dude. Like, the fucking Democrat Party really is the fucking Nazis of 2023 at this point, dude. They really, really are, honestly. Hannah brought it up last night in the chat, and he's right about that one. Anyway, yeah, let's see. It said, that John Guy said, Democrats are trying to ban many types of semi-automatic firearms because the way they look. Yes, they are. So they asserted that popular rifles such as the AR-15s work the same way as popular shotguns and other rifles used for hunting and personal protection. So that's the problem too, as well. Bring up the whole hunting thing, dude. It's a misnomer. It's something the NRA started bullshitting back like 30 years ago, whatever it was then. And I don't know if it was them that created the fucking shit or if it was like some predecessor to like MDA, like Brady or somebody like that brought the fucking crap up, was like, oh, well, these things are for hunting, right? Or you can't use these for hunting, right? And they're just like, no, we can't use those for hunting, right? 100%, dude. And that was the problem. It was that misnomer to begin with. Like, yes, you can use them for hunting animals and stuff like that, but you know what? You know what guns were created for, dude? For fucking killing tyrants! Legitimately. That was their intended purpose, was to execute fucking tyrants who were trying to commit tyranny against the American people. The same fucking people who tried to fuck over our founding fathers, the same redcoat pieces of shit who they marked the fuck out in 1776. And that's the entire point, dude. It was King George's fucking army that got executed in our fucking streets back then. And that's exactly what these fuckers today are. These fuckers like Schumer, these fuckers like Durbin, etc., dude. Cory Booker, etc. They are literally the modern day redcoats. They are fucking pussified little bitches. They are literally, in many cases, I truly believe, possessed by demons at this point. I believe, honestly, if you did a legit exorcism on Chuck Schumer right now, it would be supernatural style. There'd be a bunch of fucking black smoke shooting out of his fucking mouth and going up to the sky, dude. Because there's a legit demon inside that man's body. And I can say the same thing for a lot of the other ones, too, for that matter, dude. Pelosi, fucking Maxine Waters, probably Dick Durbin, too, for that matter, honestly, dude. McCarthy's definitely one of these. You can see McCarthy, actually, like, and that's the one thing I always thought was interesting, right? When you go back to the show Supernatural and stuff like that, and you would, like, you know, sort of spot the demons and stuff like that, and they would out themselves real quick because their eyes would go completely black and shit. You cannot honestly tell me that looking at Kevin McCarthy, that dude does not have the same kind of shit rolling, dude. Like, that dude just looks like somebody whose, like, eyes would go, like, completely black and stuff like that, dude. And he would just look all fucking nuts and shit then. I mean, hell, just looking at this photo right here, like, let me go ahead and pull up the screenshot here, actually. We'll talk about McCarthy for a sec here. Like, even right there, that guy's eyes look fucked up, dude. Like, all it's taken is the whites to go completely black, man. And, yeah, that dude's 100% demon possessed what it is then. And then, of course, you look at Chuck Schumer. I think Chuck Schumer, here's what it is. Chuck Schumer. Like, this dude's 100% a fucking pedophile demon, dude. Like, especially that creepy-ass photo right there, man. Like, that is, like, the creepiest smile ever, man. But, yeah, this guy just looks like the devil, honestly, man. There was a show back in the day, I'm trying to remember what it's called now. It was on the CW, where it was, I'm trying to remember what the actor guy's name is now. He played the devil in it. And, yeah, legitimately, that dude is a spitting image of Chuck Schumer right now, dude. Like, this dude's just evil. He's just pure fucking evil. 100%. Across the board, man. Across the board. You gotta love that one. Claims U.S. Jews feel alone amid rise in anti-Semitism. Yeah, and guess what, asshole? You know what the Jewish people are doing right now? They're buying fucking guns in record numbers, you dickhead. They're buying the same guns, the pieces of shit like you were trying to ban, you fucking anti-Semite piece of shit. So, yeah, it's kind of funny, actually, when you think about it like that, man. People are trying to ban the exact same firearms that they're trying to go out there and get, man. So, anyway, to protect themselves and their families. And we're going back to what was said here by John Barrasso. Yeah, he said, the Second Amendment is a freedom essential safeguard. Without it, there can be no liberty and there can be no safety. So I object. Schumer's bullshit. Said Democrat Senator Chris Murphy, who's also a pedophile demon, later stood up on the floor to ask for unanimous consent to pass legislation that would require universal background checks for firearm purchases. And you know exactly why pedophile Chris Murphy wants universal background checks? You know exactly why this fucking scumbag, demon, child molester wants fucking universal background checks? Because he knows with UBCs that you have a Hitlerian gun roster. That every single firearms transaction is now tracked by the fucking government. Fuck you, Chris Murphy. You, just like that motherfucker Richard Blumenthal, should have both been yanked out of office decades ago and tried for high treason. And again, we could easily deal with this shit with either putting these people in prison forever, or again, if you go by deprivation of law, which is what they're all committing on a daily basis right now, is what it is, dude. The highest crime for that is the death penalty, period. So it's either life imprisonment or death penalty, one of the two, depending on severity of crime, obviously. Anyway, continuing on with the rest of this, though. Said, where are we at now? Yeah, piece of shit Murphy said, we don't have more mental illness in this country. We don't spend less money on law enforcement. We don't have angrier people. We have more guns, and we are much more permissive in this country about allowing felons, dangerous people to get their hands on guns. You are such a lying sack of shit, dude. No, we actually do have more mental illness in this country, you fucking asshole, because you're literally shoving SSRIs down the throats of kids every fucking day, you douchebag. You know, and it's funny to me too, by the way, when you look back at the rise of so-called mass shootings and school shootings in this country, dude, you can directly correlate them to big pharma psychiatric drugs, period, buddy. The Columbine killers were on them. The dude who committed the Dayton massacre was on them. The fucking asshole who supposedly committed Sandy Hook was on them. The fucking douchebag in Uvalde was pretty much on the shit. Or not Uvalde. Parkland was on the shit. Uvalde may or may not have been, honestly, for that matter. But yeah, that's the entire point, dude. Like, all of these fucking killers, dude, were also, by the way, on the FBI's radar, and in many cases, legally purchased their firearms to get away with the massacres, dude. Hell, just look at that nut that tried to kill Gabby Giffords in that parking lot that day, man. That dude legally purchased his shit. Background checks don't work, dude. All they do is help you create a gun roster. And that's already been proven, by the way. Hell, it was proven with me 4 years ago, dude. When I had two FBI just in my fucking driveway that day who were like, oh, do you own any guns? And then as soon as I started talking about calibers, you got the one motherfucker clicking off shit is what it was, dude. Because it was every single 4473 I'd ever filled out that they now had the fucking access to is what it was. Which is absolute bullshit, unconstitutional, by the way, because, again, government should not have access to private citizens' firearms records, period, ever. And that's the entire point of why I'm against background checks at all, for that matter, dude, because of that shit right there. You don't need to know what people have ever is what it is, dude. Fuck you. So, yeah, Chris Murphy's a lying sack of shit. He's also a fucking child molester. He needs to be removed from office on a bunch of different felony crimes right now. Anyway, so, let's see. Where are we at now? Yeah, so Gallup poll conducted June 2022 found that 90% of Americans favor requiring background checks for all firearm sales. That's bullshit entirely, dude. We all know that's a fucking lie, by the way. Again, let's actually look at this fucking poll and see how many people actually polled for it, number one. And number two, did they actually say universal background checks in said poll, or was it some stupid bullshit where you're like, oh, do you support background checks? Yep, okay, we got another one for universal background checks. Click. That's exactly the fucking stupid polls, by the way. It's all a bunch of lies, dude. Yeah, let me see this. See if they actually give me the fucking numbers. Here's what it is. According to Gallup poll, let's see. Is that the actual poll right there, or is this a different poll? Okay, let's see. It's showing the actual poll then. Trying to see if they give me the number here, because usually they don't give me. That's the thing. Like I was doing this the other day, man. You had to look up the fucking thing like 10 times, and it was like a teeny little number, like halfway down the fucking thing is what it was. Okay, let's see. Washington, D.C. Okay, if this was done in D.C., it doesn't even matter, dude, because it's all a bunch of fucking pedophiles there anyway. And of course, they support fucking universal background checks and all this other crap, dude, is what it is. So, yeah, I'm trying to see the actual number of people polled. Let's see here. Okay, where is your poll numbers, bro? Come on. Okay, I'm still not seeing numbers for how many people were actually polled for this, dude. Because it sure as shit wasn't a bunch of people here. So, okay, let's see. Where are you at people polled there, dude? Come on. Give me the fucking number of the people polled, assholes. Okay, doesn't even come up that way then. What the hell? All right, let me look up voters to see if it comes up as different things. Okay, so it's a different one. Okay, voters. Okay, what the hell? Yeah, they're bullshitting you, dude, because they're not even giving you the fucking actual numbers, dude. They're suppressing the actual numbers of these fucking polls. Is what it is, dude. 100%. You know damn well this is less than 1,000 people on these fucking polls, or really about 2,000 maybe at most. So I'm gonna call BS on this thing entirely, man. Is what it is. When you're not even giving me the fucking number of the damn polling is what it is right there. Like I call BS on that entire thing is what it is. So actually gets to fucking go back now is what it is. Okay, let me see if I can find the actual thing on the Gallup poll thing itself there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find this by direct thing. Here's what it is. Okay, this one's from October of this year. Okay. So let me see here now. Again, still trying to find the numbers. Okay, that was 93 stuff for domestic violence. Yeah, Gallup needs to fuck off, dude, because they're not even showing the actual numbers of people polled. Here's what it is. Or if they are, it's like such a small thing that's like 4 times smaller font and everything else like that. I can't even find it on this shit is what it is there. Yeah, they're just a bunch of damn liars, dude, for real. I'm so sick and tired of these left-wing media assholes like this dude bullshitting and lying to everybody's face is what it is there. So, anyway, enough of this anyway. Like I said, polling is BS, dude, entirely. Until you want to admit you have like that's the whole thing. In the first sentence, that whole thing it should be like, of the 2,400 or 214,000 people that were polled for this, or the 240 people we polled for this, whatever it was, or 2,117 people that were polled for this, whatever it was. That's usually what it is. Like halfway down these pages, what it is. But they won't even tell you on the fucking Gallup polls what it is, dude. So yeah, they're just a bunch of damn lying assholes, dude. I'm not even gonna bother reading that fucking BS lies is what it is there. So, and of course you got that fucking fuckknuckle Murphy claiming this feels like a test of democracy. Except we're not a democracy, you fucking dickless rhino. Or sorry, you dickless fucking Democrat. We are legitimately a constitutional republic, you fucking pedophile demon. An actual thing that you took an oath to swear to uphold a year ago, asshole. Literally. Actually, sorry. What even a year ago? It was literally 11 months ago. Chris Murphy, you swore an oath to the U.S. Constitution to uphold our nation, specifically our Second Amendment rights, you fucking dickless piece of shit. And yet you continue to break your fucking oath every single day, which is exactly why oath breaking itself should be a death penalty felony in this country. Period. End of fucking story. Anyways, it says Utah Republican Mike Lee took to the floor immediately to object. Said, I want to note that at the onset, we're not asked to vote in this chamber on polling questions. We vote on legislation. He said the legislation to expand background checks has a real problem with it. Said this is not solely about transfers involving guns to gun stores. This is about the father who wishes to pass down a hunting rifle to his son, or the friend who wants to lend a shotgun to their neighbor who is in need of protection at the time. And that's very true, by the way. And it's not only just that stuff, too, by the way. It's also the fact you have, again, when you actually look into the universal background check bullshit that they're trying to push, it's all a bunch of crap, dude. You have legitimately, it's like 30-day waiting periods in this shit that's all hidden in the fucking legislation and stuff, dude. It's going to get people killed. Like, every single thing the Democrats do, man, is a way to get Americans killed. Which, by the way, is getting them killed by the illegals that they continue to bring in every fucking day. The fighting age males. Legitimately. And then going back to what I was saying about, pedophiles and fucking state governments there. to Tony Evers' ass here for a sec. Yeah, you got piece of shit Tony Evers breaking. I just veto Republicans' bill banning gender-affirming care to LGBTQ youth. I promised I would veto any bill that makes Wisconsin a less safe, less inclusive, and less welcoming place for LGBTQ folks and the kids. And I keep my promises. Yeah, you're a fucking pedophile, dude. Go fuck yourself. This fucking piece of shit, by the way, should have been arrested the day that Rittenhouse decided self-defense is what it is, dude. Because this fucking douchebag and others that were involved in that shit back then did all kinds of shady shit that should have seen them arrested on the spot, dude. You had Tony Evers specifically being the governor at the time, who refused to take 500 National Guard from Trump, where if he had taken those 500 National Guards from Trump, you could have had the fucking place on lockdown in Kenosha that night. You would have never had BLM rioting going on there, and Rittenhouse would have never had to kill people in self-defense to protect his own life is what it is there, man. So, yeah, fuck you, Tony Evers, you fucking piece of shit. And then you got us calling him out. I said, thanks for showing everyone yet again why you need to be arrested on dozens of child abuse felonies, Evers. And then some other chick said, how is banning children from getting their genitals mutilated keeping Wisconsin safe? It's not the whole point, dude. Somebody else said it correctly. This is child abuse, plain and simple. Of course. And then somebody else said, of course, this will be funded by taxpayers who don't agree with it. Our government has no accountability anymore. And that's the thing, too, by the way. Like, and this is what I don't understand. I'm pretty sure Wisconsin has recall voting, dude, at this point. Like, recall this fucker out of office, dude, for real if they do. If you don't, just remove him by fucking force at that point, man. Seriously. Like, call for his immediate arrest and do some shit. If you're a police officer in the state of Wisconsin, arrest this fucking son of a bitch, dude, period, end story. And we are so much better off as a fucking country then, dude. So, anyway. Yeah, here's another one, too, by the way. Going back to the whole illegal invasion stuff while we're here. Going to Twitter/X here. U.S. authorities encountered 12,000 plus illegals at the southern border yesterday, the highest daily ever recorded. Nothing short of an invasion, all by design. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's a bunch of shit entirely. Then we got Andy No talking about this Connor guy who uses he, they pronouns. So they leftist, queer, non-binary UCI nurse in Chicago and social media influencer released a video justifying the actions of terrorist group Hamas. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Does this guy not understand he would be one of the first ones killed if these fuckers actually had real power in any nation, dude? Like, seriously. These people are so fucking dumb, dude. It's not even funny. They have no self-awareness at all, man. Like, they are legitimately just walking at this point on the left, I swear to God. So, anyway. But, yeah, going back to AWB stuff here, we got two things from Firearms Policy Coalition here. This was at about 2 hours ago here. It said, speeches for the assault was banned, universal background checks, and safe storage laws have ended, and attempts to pass these bills found objections and failed. The disarmament regime will now move to the next step for its plan to violate our rights. We will send out updates as they roll in. And then this is from 2 hours ago. It said, Firearms Policy Coalition said, this clown just said that liberty means not living in fear, then compared disarming us in our homes to seatbelt laws. This quickly turned into a campaign ad shoot for the self-righteous senator from New Jersey, fake tears and all. I'm assuming they're talking about crackhead Cory Booker. Here's what it is. Oh, yeah, good old Spartacus himself. There's what it is. And then this is what they said about this fucking ass clown said. Senator Spartacus is now up and astonished that his colleagues are not taking national security seriously, states the tired trope that Second Amendment is not absolute, claims that forcing you to be disarmed in your home is not a violation of your rights. How is Cory Booker still alive in 2023? That's my question right now. Seriously, dude. Like, why is this dude not literally on death row right now for various fucking felonies? Like, it's an honest question. It really is, man. Like, the guy has committed so much high treason, it's not even funny anymore, dude. And like I said, he should have been thrown out of the U.S. Senate 3.5 years ago at this point when he failed fucking run for presidency is what it was, dude. Seriously. So, anyway. Let's go ahead and read some of the comments on Booker's shit. Here's what it is, though. From FPC. This chick here said, our biggest enemy to our individual freedoms and national rights are politicians. Never let them win. I wouldn't really say politicians, it's oath breakers specifically. It's people who have sworn an oath to the Constitution who have now broken it constantly every single day of their worthless lives. Then you got some other person saying, best comparison to seatbelt laws would be instructing insisting that everyone is armed for protection. Exactly, dude. Exactly. And that's another thing too, by the way. It's funny to me too, because you can even go back. Actually, there's videos on YouTube where it's Texas back in the, I believe, late 80s or something, is when you could. Here's a fucked up thing about Texas, by the way. You could legally drink and have an open container in Texas until like it was either the late 80s or really early 90s then. So it was like 87, 88, 89, 90, some place in there is what it was, and they finally outlawed the shit. And you had all these adults that were like had open containers in their fucking car at the time, or like were like okay with like drinking a beer or two is what it was there while they were driving and stuff. And they're like, "What do you mean I can't drink and drive anymore?" Like it's just funny. And like it was the same people that were like, "Yeah, I didn't have no seatbelts in my car in the 1970s, dude." 'Cause that's the thing too, by the way. You didn't have that shit back then, dude. You legitimately had 4 or 5 small children in the back seat of the car is what it was, dude. No seatbelts at all in the back of that car. And these kids, like every time dad took like a sharp corner or something like that, it would be like shift, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And they live fine. You know, hell, these are the same kids that back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, legitimately would go out and do bike tricks on their bikes, get all fucked up, and then come out of it fine, you know? I mean, mostly fine anyway. I mean, they might have had head injury here or there is what it was. But yeah, for the most part, it was just like some skinned knees or some scraped fucking elbows or whatever it was, dude. And now you have so many people so coddled and so pussified and stuff like that. Now you get fucking, you know, demon gay pedophiles like fucking Cory Booker there is what it is, dude. Which, mind you, pretty sure there's actually evidence that that dude was blowing some dude in the back of a fucking limo at some point in the last couple of years now. I'm just going to bring that point up now. Because why not, you know? So, anyway, yeah, the guy tries to act like he's all alpha male when in reality he's just a beta fucking douchebag taking it in the ass. In vanilla, what do they call those? Lavender relationships, stuff like that. So, let's see. This person that said seatbelt laws are also infringement. If you want to go flying through a windshield, that's your choice. This person just the meme and said you can fuck off with that shit. You can fuck straight off to fuck off mountain while riding your fuck horse to the land of hell no. Like that. That's a good one. I'm gonna steal that meme. I'm gonna steal that meme for later because that's a good one, dude. Let's see. Said everyone is required to wear a seatbelt, so everyone should be required to own, train, and carry a gun. Okay, so see that's the problem I have right there, right? The whole like train, right? Like I'm fine with like owning and carrying, obviously, but the whole train thing is what it is there, dude. Training, because okay, who's paying for the training, right? Hell, who's paying for the gun? Is it you paying directly out of your pocket, or is it government being like, here's your gun? Because honestly, I've said that before, dude. If I ever become governor of the state of Ohio, one of the first acts I'm going to do as governor, we're pretty much buying out High Point at that point of all their inventory. And then we're just going to have a fucking program in place. That's what the Department of Gun Services, more or less, is what we'll call it. And it's like, you go there, you get your fucking High Point. Actually, you get 2 High Points is what it'll be, because you'll get a High Point handgun, and you'll get High Point carbines, what will be there. You get a box of ammo with that stuff, and it's like, okay, through that door is the fucking range. We teach you how to shoot that gun. A couple of mags through each one of them is what it is there. And then, teach you how to shoot those guns. A couple of mags through each one of them is what it is then. And now you're part of the fucking actual civil defense force for the state of Ohio is what it would be then. You know, like a civilian guard is basically what it would be then. So, and anybody over the age of 18 without a felony can do that kind of stuff. And even the people that would have, you know, low-level felonies for, like, I don't know, passing bad checks or something like that, that can be expunged easily. You can get your rights restored on that one. It's just the violent criminals that we never let have our shit is what it is there, man. But yeah, any legal adult without any kind of, you know, felony record and stuff like that, or if they have a felony record but it's like some shitty-ass felony that could easily be expunged, yeah, we'll expunge that and give them fucking rights restored is what it is then. And they can have their guns too is what it is then, man. Which is how it should be anyway. Just because you, like, that's the thing too, right? Just because you used to be a drug addict in your younger life, and now you're like 40, 50 years old, and you're a recovering addict and stuff like that, dude, and you have, you know, you're fine now is what it is. You should not have your rights taken away from you just because of that is what it is. Just because you got a felony early on in your life is what it would be then. For that kind of bullshit. So, anyway, let's see here. Now, going back to the comments there. You got this guy named Mike said, Booker was about to fake cry, but aborted at the last second when he spoke about kids. And then we got here, it's democracy is 2 wolves and a lamb voting on what to have for lunch. Liberty is a well-armed lamb contesting the vote. Ben Franklin. Yep, pretty much. Let's see. This person here said, I doubt Booker could define liberty even if he seriously tried. Somebody else says, Spartacus sure would have been a short story without swords for the rebellious slaves. Exactly, dude. And that's another thing, too, by the way. It's like the same thing with Jesus Christ, for that matter, dude. Like, right? Like, why was Jesus killed? Because he didn't have fucking ARs is what it was, dude. He didn't have any kind of fucking protection at that point. You know? And what did the fucking people taking him out have? They had fucking swords. They had the weapons of the time is what it was. They had their version of the AR is what it was back then, you know, which was basically long fucking pointy objects is what it was at the point in time in history there, dude. So, or it might have been like short swords, actually, I'm thinking about it. But either way, it was, yeah, they would pull the fucking sharp swords is what it was, dude. And they were like, you're under arrest for blah, blah, blah. And they dragged him off to the fucking, you know, the cross to be hung. And crucified is what it was there. So, anyway. I think this person put like one word too many into their response here because it said is what's. And I think they meant, said is want, which really they could take out the is. Just said Senator Spartacus wants a dictatorship, which is exactly what Second Amendment is trying to prevent. Exactly, dude. That's what it is at the end of the day. See, somebody else said Booker needs to go find his preferred gigolo and blow off some steam. Exactly, dude. Like this one, dear gun grabbers, fuck off, then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off until you get to a gate with a sign saying you can't fuck off past here. Climb over the gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever. I like it, dude. I like it. Let's see, this person here said, and people always forget that the seatbelts then weren't the seatbelts of today. They sucked. Not only that, but people wanted airbags instead of seatbelts, but the car companies fought it because it would cost too much. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. This Alicia woman here said, and to think that black folks like Booker call black folks like that person. Okay, I'm not going to say the rest of that then because it's basically various slights and stuff like that is what it is there. That girl looks very light skinned, by the way. Yeah, if you didn't like see one on the profile, I wouldn't even be able to tell you she was black, honestly, dude, because she looked like real light skinned. Actually, her and Booker probably have the same skin tone. Yeah, because he's very light skinned too, by the way. Like I think Cory Booker might be mixed. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Like some point, I'm not saying like directly like both of his parents weren't black, but I think it was like maybe grandma or something was like a white woman or something like that, Is what would be then. You know, because that's the thing. That's the thing I always thought was weird about like black Americans in this country and stuff like that. They're not even really black people in general, is what it is. You have like 75 different shades of black, or like various like caramel coloration, and I think Booker's actually more of like a caramel color, I guess is what I'd say there. Whereas, you got people like Manute Bol, who's like, super dark black is what it is there, like black as night, basically. But anyway. Let's see. This person was directly calling out Booker is going to fire his own arms. Sorry, it said, is Cory Booker going to fire his own armed security rules for thee, but not for me? Exactly, dude. And that's the problem entirely right there. It's people who are pieces of shit, hypocrite douchebags like that, who were like, oh, I want to disarm the American people. Okay, start with yourself, asshole. Get rid of your own fucking armed security, you fucking douchebag, or shut the fuck up is what it really is. Like, we're so sick and tired of your shit, bro. We really fucking are. So, anyway. But, Nah. That's great. This person was showing somebody's bumper sticker. It says you just got passed by a girl, and then they went around the car, and there was all the airbags deployed, and the front end was all fucked up because they got in a car crash. That's great, man. It's funny. Yeah, I can't actually show this one, unfortunately, but James Woods calls it correct. So why is this an everyday occurrence? And it's a bunch of groups of people fighting, basically. All black folks, by the way. They're all teens and 20-somethings. And that's another thing, too, by the way. It's shit like that why we can't have a high-trust society, by the way, because you have all these ignorant-ass people like that. They just want to be dumb and stupid is what it is, man. So, and it's like just the slightest little thing is like, oh my god, it's all fucking da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, dude, just fucking chill out, honestly, seriously. Huh. Wow. Apparently, Canada's going nuts with a bunch of Islamic terrorism up there. Wow. You got Paris on fire for some reason right now, apparently, supposedly. Anyway, I'm assuming this is right now anyway. Huh. Let's see, this was from yesterday. We got Jim Jordan saying, you're suing SpaceX because they hired too many Americans, too many citizens, not enough refugees. This investigation started 3 years ago, and yet you bring a lawsuit after Elon Musk purchases Twitter, now X. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. Can't really talk about this one on YouTube here, so I'm just going to post it on X there. Go and check out the retweet I just posted from Proud Army Brat. Has to do with the Jibity Jabs. And I'll leave it at that. Apparently, you got dipshit Sheila Jackson Lee, who is an actual black supremacist, wants to make it criminal for white people to say anything that offends a person of color. We live in clown world. So here's my problem with that whole thing, right? Is you have her basically assaulting freedom of speech at that point. Because, by the way, even racial shit is covered in freedom of speech, dude, by the way, for those who don't know that whole thing. Like, that's just an FYI right there, man. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. And, of course, you got this one. That's a secret migration network found in Pesto, Colombia, staging military-age Chinese nationals headed for the United States. Again, so you got all these fucking fighting-age males and a few fighting-age females here in the staging area there in Colombia who are now going to make their way to our open border system, find their way here. Same motherfuckers who already found their way here several times now are sleeper cells for the fucking Chinese military. And you cannot tell me that these fucking people, the age their asses are right now, dude, are not active Chinese military invading U.S. soil at this point. And these are the same motherfuckers that fucking scumbag traitor, Dick Durbin, wants to give U.S. citizenship to so they can join our fucking military. Fuck that shit, dude. You know, there was a movie that Alex Jones and them did a while ago, dude. It was about a foreign invasion into this country. I'm trying to remember what it was called now. Yeah, I'm trying to go to the IMDb now for Alex Jones and see if it pops up here or not. Because you know all those documentaries back in the day that were a bunch of different stuff. And I'm basically trying to think if there was... Okay, so that's producer stuff. What the hell is the one? There was one from... Jesus. Yeah, I'm physically trying to remember what it was now. It was about like EMPs and grid down. Maybe starring Alex Jones. Amerigeddon, that's what it was called. 2016. Yeah, if you've never seen let's see if I can pop it up here now on the IMDb. If you never watched the movie Amerigeddon from a little over 7 years ago, you need to watch this fucking movie, dude. Seriously. It is a great fucking film. It basically shows exactly what would happen in the grid down thing where you have UN shock troops come in here and basically kill a bunch of Americans. Hell, there's a whole scene in it where it's a bunch of Chinese foreign nationals who are either UN or they're just Chinese military or whatever, like invading American soil. There's what it is. And it's literally them going and killing a whole barracks of American soldiers then. And that's what these fuckers are going to do, man. It would be nothing more than the whole thing of the whole like blue on green or green on blue, whatever the hell it's called there in military lingo and shit, where you have like America going to the Middle East and stuff like that over the last, 20, 25 years or so, give or take. And it's, you'll go in there and you'll have like these various Afghanis or whatever it is there who will be the, like, I forget what the actual terminology for them is there or whatever, but it's basically like they're supposed to be working hand in hand with military because they're going to be the guys that would take over when U.S. military actually leaves what it is there. And like half these fucking dudes will go try to shoot up a fucking soldier's barracks and shit like that, dude. And it'll be an attack by them and an attack on the U.S. military, then is what it is. And you can't honestly tell me that the same exact shit wouldn't happen here if we took pretty much fucking Chinese foreign nationals that are illegally invading our country into the U.S. military, when in reality what they actually are is fucking a bunch of douchebags for the Chinese military who are now invading our country and are trying to fuck us over is what it is, man. So I'm actually going to go see if I can find this movie on the free sites right now is what it is. And if it is, I'll tell you guys about it here in a sec. So let me go. Okay, it is on there. Cool. Yeah, if you want to go to any of the places like F movies and stuff like that, dude, it's on there right now. And you can find it on there. So I may have to rewatch that later, actually, now I'm thinking about it, because that's a good movie, like I said. And yeah, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely, that you have these motherfuckers like Durbin and company trying to fuck over our country is what it is, man. So Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking dumbasses are trying to make a Black Santa now in the fucking mainstream media. There's what it is. Let's see. We got illegal immigrants have made the border of Lukeville, Arizona, look like a giant homeless encampment in California. So the section of the border is part of the national park, and there are fires and garbage everywhere. Fucking disgusting, dude. You guys can check that out on X there. I just reposted the thing. Let's see here. See what this Michael guy here says. See, he said, sounds like a Black Mirror episode. A small country announces a crackdown on hate speech to seize control over the entire internet. I'm thinking he's talking about Ireland. There's what it is. Except it's not a Black Mirror episode. It's real life, and it's happening right there in Ireland. So the so-called hate speech bill isn't what it seems. It's not a bill about protecting the Irish people from hate crimes. It's a Trojan horse designed to control the world's big tech companies, X, Facebook, Google, and YouTube. So this is a free speech emergency. We thought the legislation was dead, but the Irish government is using recent riots as an excuse to ram the legislation through before Christmas. Not a drill, not about Ireland. This is a totalitarian effort by globalist elites to censor all of us. Yeah, it's fucked up, man. And he goes on from there, basically, but yeah, it's just... Oh, man. Like, when is enough, dude? And I truly believe that we are very much on the precipice right now of having this country basically sent to not the country, but having like every country in this world pretty much on the verge of 2024 basically being a giant revolution. 1776, 1789 styles would be then. So it'd be between the American and French revolutions then. So this is actually pretty hilarious right here. FBI trying to infiltrate Make America Great Again movement. It's a fucking dog in a bunch of sheep's clothing. That's fucking great, man. Fucking dog. Looks like a border collie of some kind. They're just looking at the dog like, you ain't one of us, bro. He's like, no, I'm not. So it's just like there's that video from a couple years ago at the U.S. Capitol where it was a bunch of clear Fed boys and stuff like that, and their little khakis and shit like that, and their fucking sunglasses and stuff. And it's like, you motherfuckers all look exactly alike, dude. These are the same assholes, by the way, that are now falsely claiming to be Patriot Front and Blood Tribe and all these other fucking orgs like that. That's what it is then. So, that's interesting. I wonder if fat ass Chris Christie's going to announce his dropping out of the race here pretty soon then over this shit. Chris Christie's niece has been charged for having a drunken airport meltdown where she asked a Latino family if they smuggled cocaine. In November 2022, Chris Christie's niece, Shannon Epstein, in relation to Jeffrey Epstein, got on a flight with police after she refused to get off the jetway. Wow. That's pretty wild. Oh, Harvard University. I wonder why President Gay was trending. I assumed it was had to do with Biden, obviously, dude, because he keeps embracing all the gayness is what it is. So, but yeah, that's what Frank LaRose is here a little bit ago. This is our current Secretary of State here in Ohio, and this is guys trying to run for the U.S. Senate instead of doing his job as Secretary of State is what it is. He said, no confusion here. President Gay was given the opportunity to condemn calls for intifada, translation genocide, during the hearing, and she chose to defend it instead. If it doesn't reflect Harvard's values, ask her to resign. This is the bitch that runs Harvard right now is what it is, dude, which makes sense. I mean, all these Ivy League schools are a bunch of fucking literal terror cells is what it is there. So, Jesus. Then we got this one yesterday. Democrats witness just advocated for biological males to participate in women's sports so women can, quote, learn to lose gracefully. The fuck? Good Lord. And then, of course, you had, there was another Lee. I don't know which place that she represents when it comes to states and stuff like that. But I know that she was one of these dumbass, like, ghetto black females, and the same thing with that idiot Jasmine Crockett from the Dallas area, Texas there. That girl, that honestly, the only thing that bitch is missing is a fucking crack pipe attached to her lip at this point, honestly, dude, for real. But yeah, Jasmine Crockett is a fucking crack whore, and then some dude. But both these stupid fucking cunts yesterday, her and the Summer Lee woman, were bitching and moaning about, like, oh, we should have biological males in women's sports, blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck you, cunt. Like, fuck you, cunts, seriously. And I forget who the one woman was there that went on the whole thing about, like, women's rights and stuff like that. And she was like, no, as an actual biological female, you can go fuck off, hoes. And she's like, I'm not going to have my shit diminished. I'm not going to have my daughter's shit diminished, etc. Because you want to fucking you want to give random ass beta male dudes a fucking leg up is what it is. And that's what it always is, by the way. It's never some alpha male going and doing, like, women's sports stuff, dude. It's always these fucking beta male ass losers. You know, they can't get ahead against real actual men that are better than they are, you know, physically and superior athletes and stuff like that is what it is. So they'll sit there and they'll fuck off and they'll be like, oh, you know, I took, it's just like that piece of shit Will Thomas that became Leah Thomas in the fucking swimming. The guy was like 550th ranked or something like that as a man and then went into the women's fucking swimming and now was like number one across the fucking board, breaking all kinds of women's records that were set 30, 40 fucking years ago is what it was, dude. It's a slap in the face and a joke to this country entirely, and I'm sick and tired of it, man. And it's the same thing with pieces of shit like those two black dudes in fucking Connecticut that fucked over people like Selena Soul and stuff like that, dude. You had her and all these other actual biological girls in this track team that were running in many cases for college scholarships on athletic scholarships. And you had these fucking beta male douchebags who knew that they couldn't hack it against fucking dudes on the track team because they took like 8th, 10th, 20th, whatever the hell it was there. And then you had one come over the one year and you had the other one come over the next year is what it was. And they were flip-flopping each other for first and second every single race is what it was. So you had bronze become the new gold for these females is what it was, dude. It's a bunch of shit entirely. It's not okay at all, man. It's the same exact crap we've seen recently here with, you had a bunch of cyclists the other day, and the first two of them were fucking dudes. It was two dudes in a women's fucking cycling competition as gold and silver. And it was they had another one actually recently. It was, I forget what the country was that was going on, but it was like some kind of boxing tournament or something like that for women and stuff. You had this woman bow out because the fucking opponent was going to be some biological male claiming to be transgender. And instead of actually just banning that fucking dude from a women's competition, then they're like, okay, cool. This dude goes on the next round by default because no other woman's going to face him now. Fuck that, dude. No, it's fucking ridiculous entirely. Kick his ass out, get two actual biological women in there, beat the crap out of each other with fucking boxing gloves on, dude. And have one of those actual fighters win that tournament is what it is then. This one's actually pretty fun. I'm going to show this because it's pretty funny, actually. It was, when they come for your memes, meanwhile in Ireland, you got this guy smacking against the door with a fucking saw of some kind. It's like a saw. It's like half of it's like a axe, the other half of it is a, or not saw. Yeah, half of it's an axe, the other half is a sledgehammer kind of deal. And the guy's like, swoop, give me the finger. Fucking great, man. It's a good one, needs to be, honestly, too. By the way, that cop's a pussy, and that door is pretty on the hinges there, is what it is, man, for real. All right, this is about an hour ago. You got fuck knuckle Biden here. So, you know, the fakest fake president ever in this country. He's a fucking cheater and shouldn't be in office at all. Question: can you explain to Americans amid the impeachment inquiry why you interacted with so many of your son and brother's foreign business associates? Biden: I did not, and that's just a bunch of lies. No, you are a fucking liar, Biden, you sack of shit. There is no way this is the real Joe Biden, by the way. This dude is 100% like a fucking clone or something at this point, or he's some dude wearing a mask. So, honestly, at this point, I have a running theory at this point, dude. Because I remember back in the 90s, it was like after the 94 assault was banned and crime bill and stuff like that, it was like 95, 96 place in there is what it was. You had Biden have aneurysms in his brain is what it was, where he had to go into surgery and have like half of his brain scooped out is what it was there. Who's to say the real Joe Biden didn't die on the table that day? Like they couldn't get to it in time when the aneurysms burst in his brain or something like that when he was going to surgery or some shit and it killed him. And then since then you've actually had some other person, you know, pretending to be Biden at this point in history. Because it would make sense logically speaking, because you look back at when he was in the U.S. Senate in the 70s and 80s and stuff like that, and even in the early 90s is what it was there, and he had a hairline receding like crazy back here. And now you look at him now and there's like a lot more hair up front there. It doesn't make any sense at all, man. Unless it's not the real Biden there. And there's been talk over the decades about it actually being his brother that's portraying Joe is what it is there, because obviously the real Biden is not around anymore. So who knows, man? Who knows? I mean, it's entirely possible. Like, I really don't know anymore now. Like, to me, it's very much like a situation of, it's an interesting theory for sure. I'll say it like that, really. And I feel like we're definitely on the precipice of a time period of history where this country is either going to go one of two ways right now. It's either going to fall completely in an upcoming civil war, revolution, tribal warfare kind of a situation there, you know, black swan events, whatever the hell you want to call it there. Or we are going to have a constitutional revolution in this country where no shot is fired at all. We simply take back the presidency, take back the House, take back the Senate with real, true, good people again. And we actually have prosperity for a while in this country. And we don't have a bunch of Democrats being a bunch of assholes. And at the same time, you have these Democrat criminals, these Democrat cheaters and stuff like that, finally being arrested out of office, etc. In a dream world, that would happen, honestly. Do I think that's going to be the case, though? No, I do not. I think it's going to be a bloody, bloody revolution when it happens, dude. I think you're going to have a lot of people, unfortunately, lose their lives in the coming year or two is what it'll be whenever things start popping off. And the more and more that these politicians keep pushing for this shit, dude, the more that they are opening themselves up to having actual political assassinations on the table at this point in time in history. I mean, hell, Tim Ryan literally called for it a year ago when he was running for U.S. Senate. And then it was days later you had this Shannon guy in, it was either Montana or Wyoming there, who were handing down some 18-year-old kid who he claimed was like some mega kid who was trying to fuck with him is what it was. The kid was never doing anything. He was walking home that night is what it was. And this deranged-ass leftist kills this young man in cold blood. Tim Ryan's never arrested for that shit for fucking calling for the murder of mega people. So, I don't know, man. And then, of course, you had that shit recently where it was, those two assholes that burned down that Wendy's back in 2020 get a slap on the wrist. It's like $500, what was it, $500 fine or $5,000 fine, whatever it was there. And like 5 years probation, 150 hours community service, something like that. Meanwhile, the same fucking areas where Trump's being indicted on like 176 years in prison or something like that. Again, it's just a joke, dude. And it's why, honestly, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, dude, with the pendulum swing snap that's going to happen very soon, here's what it is. I think you're going to see authoritarianism in this country, unfortunately, in the form of a fascist dictatorship, it will be. And it might be right wing, it might be something else for that matter. I don't think it's going to be Democrat, though. I think it's either going to be right wing, like a Republican one or whatever, or it would be some like crazy independent thing, or whatever the case be, dude. And maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good for a little bit, dude, because you'll actually finally have these Democrats, you'll have these leftists taking a fucking task for once, is what it is then, man. The problem with that is, though, if that doesn't succeed and we actually have some kind of color revolution or whatever the case be then, where you would have that person potentially assassinated out of power is what it is then, you would have them put their own puppet in there then is what it would be then, and we'd be all fucked then is what it would be, man. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't see things going well in this country in the next year or two is what it is. And my best advice to everybody is just to arm up at this point, dude. If you want to protect your family, if you want to protect yourself, arm the fuck up, get armed, be armed, stay armed, fight for the Second Amendment. Not just sit there and be armed, dude. Get involved in the fucking conversation. Be someone like I am right now. Get on the phones to your local state reps, get on the phones to your local state senators, get on the phones to your congressman, your senator, etc., and tell them straight up, protect the Second Amendment, take the constitutional oath that you swore, and be serious about it. Be an oath keeper. Do not be an oath breaker. And if you can, remove the oath breakers that are legitimately trying to push for disarmament from office entirely and put them in prison where they belong is what it is. And that's how we win, by the way. That's how you win without shots ever being fired. That's how you win without anybody ever dying, by the way. Because it doesn't need to come to death, honestly, dude. It really doesn't. You could easily enough have all these people arrested, given life imprisonment sentences. They just die off in the next few years in a fucking prison cell. Like the coward piece of shit they are is what it is. But the problem is that nobody's doing that stuff. Whether it be cops, whether it be feds, whatever the case be. You're not doing their jobs to arrest these sons of bitches out of office is what it is, dude. And that's exactly why we are leading to a point where I believe you're going to have an overreach is what it is then. Where you will have like a legit like set of gallows in the fucking streets kind of thing is what it'll be at some point in the future. So, who the hell knows, man? So, anyway, I don't know. The only thing I know, honestly, is that I've studied enough history in my life in the last 10 years or so to where I've seen what happened in the past with things like this, and I don't want it to go that far again. And I believe, truthfully, we are very much like this fucking close on the cusp of shit right now, dude. Where what we're seeing right now, where you got, flip cars on fire and stuff like that in other countries or here in America during riots and stuff like that. Sorry, I got some out there. Yeah, what we're seeing with that stuff, that's just child's play what's to come, dude. You look back at a movie like Gangs of New York, where they were literally, chase people down the street and string them to fucking light poles and shit like that, dude. Like, that's what we're heading towards, I think, honestly, in history right now. Sometimes people say history repeats itself. Other people say history doesn't repeat itself, but it, looks similar or something like that's what it is. I forget the actual quote is offhand, but yeah, it's like not an exact repeating, but it's like, pretty close kind of thing is what it is there. And I believe, truthfully, like, that's what we're heading towards right now in history, dude. It's something like that, where you have the war drums being beat right now, and you have people who are attempting to take us someplace that they don't understand. If they take us there, all bets are off. And they're going to be the first ones taken to task when it's all said and done then, is what it is. And like I've said before, it's not going to be people like me doing it, by the way. It's going to be the very pissed off veterans of this country. It's going to be the people that have been fucked over by our government for decades now. It's the people that have had their hearing fucked up from, bad earplugs. It's the people that have been in the military over the years and have been disaffected by the shit because they're told, oh, that $4,000, $5,000 worth of shit you were told to leave all your gear in Afghanistan during the 2021 withdrawal, now you have to pay up for that now because you're leaving the military. It's going to be those kind of people that are going to be the ones leading the fucking charge, man. I'm going to be the guy fucking 150 feet back or whatever. It's going to be, dude, like halfway down the fucking block, basically, being like, what's going on here, man? They're like, hey, shit's about to pop off. Grab your gear. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just stand there for a couple more minutes and just sort of, make sure that I'm everything's on the levels what it is then. And then still think about it after that. If that be the case, then just walk inside and be like, yeah, should I go or should I not go kind of thing is what it is then. So, but yeah, no, I feel like there's definitely going to be people that will be, and I think honestly, this is exactly what this armament regime is about right now, is these people, these Chris Murphy types, these Chuck Schumer types, these Richard Blumenthal types, etc., the Cory Bookers of the world, etc., they know they're about to do some shady shit that would get them killed by the American people for high treason, etc., dude. And it's exactly why they want us disarmed and get federal swattings and stuff like that to silence our speech, to silence our freedoms, to silence our ability to protect ourselves from their tyranny is what it is at the end of the day. And it's why I'm going to call it out for what it is right now, dude. And it's as simple as that. Just to be clear, any Fed boys out there, I am not calling for violence against anyone in this situation. I am simply stating facts and asking questions. The question being posed is, should these people be brought up for high treason, given death penalty sentences, etc.? The answer to that in many cases is technically, by the definition of the fucking letter of the law, yes. The answer is yes. So, and it should really be you guys arresting their fucking asses on these crimes is what it is right now. But of course you're not going to do that because you're a bunch of fucking pussy-ass cowards who are unelected bureaucrats, and in many cases, oath-breaking sacks of shit, just like Booker and company are too, that matter. So, and proof why you shouldn't exist as an alphabet agency is what it is then. So anyway. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much where we're at for the day. Jesus. I'm gonna actually not think about it before we leave today. I'll bring up this stat because this is a pretty wild thing I just saw pop in my Twitter feed here is what it is. This person said 1 in 9 black kids have a parent in prison. Said what percentage of black children have a parent in prison? Of the estimated 74 million children in the U.S., resident population who are under the age of 18 and this was as of July 1st, 2007, 2.3 had a parent in prison. Black children, 6.7%, were 7.5 times more likely than white kids to have a parent in the prison system. That's crazy. And I'm assuming it's even more than that now I'm thinking about it, dude, because that was back 2007, so that's 16 years ago? So I can see it being even higher than that now. It's probably more 1 in 6 or 7, honestly. So, anyway, actually, this is the best way to deal with cops right here, man. We're gonna leave things off with this little gem right here. This is a classic from back in the day, which is basically how to deal with cops / Fed boys.
Police, open up. What do you want? We just want to talk. You have a warrant? No, but just come outside. We want to talk with you. I don't want to talk. How many of you are there? There's 2 of us, sir. Go then, talk to each other.
There's 2 of us, sir. Good then, talk to each other. Exactly, dude. Yeah, fuck them, dude. For real. So that's how he's treated, man. For real, legitimately. So anyway, but yeah, that's where we're gonna leave today off at. I got some stuff I gotta do here in the next couple hours, and I'm getting pretty tired. My body's hurting quite a bit today from the appointment the other day and having that range of motion test taken and whatnot. And it's just my joints are very inflamed right now. So I think I might just chill out for the rest of the day, maybe take a nap here in an hour or 2. And go from there, basically. But yeah. Nah. TSA agent gets confused, thinks he's working for IRS, steals people with money out of their luggage. Jesus fucking Christ. You know, it makes sense logically when you think about that, man, right? Because these are the same motherfuckers who TSA, the Tolerated Sexual Assault Agency is what it is there. They are known to hire convicted felons, dude. They are known to hire convicted criminals that have actual burglary charges on their shit is what it is, man. Which makes logical sense. And we go to a point in history now where we're just, putting up with this shit is what it is, man. Hopefully no one dies. House Republican majority is about to become even more fragile. Hopefully no one dies is a direct quote from Marjorie Taylor Greene about Santos being booted and then Eddie McCarthy going out now. And we also got Bill Johnson is leaving Congress. That's the guy that represents me, by the way. So, like I said, I'm seriously to the point where Jesus. Yeah, and of course you got that fucking scumbag piece of shit, Mike Collins, having the audacity to be like, Kevin McCarthy leaving Republicans with a 2-seat majority. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Yeah, I want to see this asswiper. Oh, fucking of course he's a Georgia congressman. Fucking asshole. I'm so sick and tired of these fucking people, dude. I really am. Like, honestly, truthfully, I think, what was it? Founding Father Ben Franklin said, if I'm not mistaken, where it was just purging government every couple hundred years and stuff like that and making it better. That's what needs to happen at this point, honestly. Just across the board, just fuck everybody, man. You're all gone right now. We get, a couple hundred new people in there and be done with it. Government's way smaller after that, and we're just way better off as a nation then. Hell, we were watching some stuff on Honda's chat last night about it, and it was this dude talking about all the different crimes that have been committed or whatever the case be. And it was supposed to be NBA versus NFL or whatever, and it was like multiple domestic violence charges, a bunch of people stealing stuff, et cetera, and then it was 380 different basically felonies that were guaranteed across the board right now of different people, and it was all the crimes of the 435 people in Congress right now, and it's like Jesus fucking Christ, dude. So yeah. I think we're just fucked as a nation right now, dude, entirely until we take this country back by force is what it is. And do what needs to be done right now, honestly. And, the boycotts right now against these woke-ass companies show that we can do it without violence, honestly. If we just simply, get real good people into power again, dude, that can't be corrupted. If nothing else, like, I know that, shit's bad right now with inflation and stuff like that, but if we can actually take a couple dollars out of our own pockets individually and have, a couple million people do that is what it is, man. And we each give like $1 or $2 to like some campaign of somebody, we could easily raise enough money for at least a couple people anyway, to get into office and not be corrupted, dude. And it would be we the people candidates. It would be actual constitutional candidates that could be done right now. The problem is, will 1 million plus people each take $1 or $2 out of their pocket and give it towards that kind of campaign? Who knows? Only time will tell, honestly. But like I said, it could work, man. It really could. Now, granted, that might only be a couple seats in Congress, but even still, that's a couple seats in Congress. That's a couple people we know for a fact are not corrupt pieces of shit when they go in there, dude. Now, granted, they might be corrupted after the fact or whatever the case be, through some backdoor shitty ass deals or something like that. But even still, like, that's the kind of things we risk is what it is. At least it's better than what we have right now, is all I gotta say on that one. At least it's something where we can actually do something correctly right now and be able to maybe get something to change at least a little bit anyway. So, anyways. But yeah, needless to say, that's where we're at for the day. I will be back tomorrow for Buckshot Thursday. We'll talk about what's going on locally here in Ohio with some stuff relating to our SOPA legislation, which from my understanding right now has not gotten through the House yesterday. It basically, you have a bunch of Republicans in our state General Assembly here that don't really want to do anything is what it is, dude. That want to just be a bunch of rhino sellouts is what it is, or be like, oh, I don't know if I can actually get reelected if I get on this board with this. Who gives a fuck about your reelection, asshole? Do what you were fucking voted in to do, asshole, and pass the goddamn legislation here in 2023, 2024, and then you can go fuck off and get another job, you douchebag. So fucking sick and tired of it, dude. Do the fucking job you were elected by we the fucking people to do, or get the fuck out and we'll replace you with somebody that will, asshole. And it's as simple as that. End of fucking story. So, anyway. Needless to say, though, always be carried with one in the chamber. Always be armed when you go outside in history here. Because you never know if you're going to be the victim of a violent assault, a violent crime, whatever the case be. Protect yourself with every means possible. Do what needs to be done to make sure that you survive. Because if some piece of shit criminal thinks that robbing you, that raping you, etc. is okay, then they don't need to be on this earth anymore. And you need to be able to defend yourself against them is what it is. So yeah, always be a first responder. Always be your own self-defender. Protect yourself from tyranny every single day because you never know when the tyranny will come for you. And it's as simple as that. Keep fighting, keep winning, keep engaging in the battles for the Second Amendment, for the U.S. Constitution, for the Bill of Rights of this country, and help us all protect the 2A. And it's as simple as that. Have a good one, y'all. Later.